Hey, blessed, beautiful day, Grateful Gal family. Welcome into the Grateful Gal Sports Huddle. Y'all know what time it is. About to get directly into the daily verse before I get into the Sports Huddle rundown. Daily verse for the day of January 18th, 2024. Derives from the book of Psalms, chapter 31, verse 15, and it states as follows. My days are in your hand. Rescue me from the hand of my enemies and from those persecuting me. Amen. And again, it's from the book of Psalms, chapter 31, verse 15. And this morning, Grateful Gal family, for the Grateful Gal Sports Huddle, I'll be going over the NFL Playoff Super Wildcard Weekend recap, National Hockey League All-Star Weekend information, NCAA men's and women's top 25, NBA regular season, and NBA regular season news. So getting directly to the NFL Playoff Wildcard Weekend, definitely not the type of weekend I wanted to have for my team. Such a unprecedented performance. Definitely thought they would play much better football, and it didn't go that way. They got beat by a lesser team, and me personally, a lot of things need to change on this Eagles organization. The staff, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach. I'm kind of up in the air. Some days I want Nick Sirianni fired. Some days I want him there still because, he has been proven to be able to win. He has been proven to be a winner. But, I'm just, like I said, I'm up in the air on him right now. Definitely the coordinators, they got to go, offensive and defensive coordinator. And even though, Sean Desai, he didn't get a whole entire season to be the defensive coordinator. And I think that's, for me personally, I really think that's a big hit on Nick Sirianni because he's the coach. That's really one thing for me that really wants him to get out of Philadelphia, because the decisions you're making as a head coach, man, they just don't line up. They just don't line up. And I guess from a coach standpoint, he think he's putting our players in the best situation, but the proof is in the pudding, man. You did not. The defense literally got worse over the last 6-7 weeks of the NFL season, man. Tackling was the biggest thing for me. How y'all NFL football players and you cannot tackle? You a linebacker in the National Football League, the highest level of football, you can't tackle? You a cornerback and you can't tackle? You a defensive back, you can't tackle? What? It's like it just blows my mind, man. That really ticked me off. Then the offensive coordinators, man, we had one drive literally in the third quarter where we was on a blitz, and every single receiver had a curl route. It was like a 3rd and 10 probably or something like that. It was crazy, bro. And I'm like, who was calling these? Who was making these plays up? Nick Sirianni says it's his offense. That's another thing that makes me say, hey, well, I want you to get up out of here, bro, because if we're running your offensive scheme, Shane Steichen, he was the offensive coordinator last year making play calls. He didn't call none of them plays. The play call and the route concepts were stellar, even against the blitz. You had people coming underneath, people crossing the middle of the quarterback face, all these type of things. And it's like, yeah, I understand we didn't have A.J. Brown. Julio Jones went out with concussion, but man, the game plan was horrible. We started off the game with a run play. DeAndre Swift got 9 yards. And we literally went away from it. I don't understand. It's no surprise that we lost. From those pointers right there, it's no surprise we got dominated by a lesser team, because obviously we were the lesser team. But hey, some good notes from what I thought would happen is that the front four, they got after the quarterback. We had five sacks in the game, and the defense kept giving us opportunities to stay in the game, but it didn't go how it was meant to go. It was truly sad to me, you know what I mean? And we had 4 total sacks, but still, we was getting after the quarterback, and we had sacks in big moments. We had sacks where we kept scores off the board. We had sacks where we was able to get the offense. We was able to get the ball back to our offense, and that it didn't go as planned. Like I said, just a sad performance all the way through. Had some ups in the performance, but since the beginning of the game, man, James Bradbury missed that first tackle, and it's just like everything went downhill from there. Just truly sad. Bad coaching decisions, and once again, we got a penalty on a kickoff. We got a penalty on a field goal attempt, and Nick Sirianni decided to go for it on the 4th and 5. Horrible route concepts once again. No one's open. You got to go on it. You got to go for a 4th and 5, and you want to send players on corner routes and out routes and all these other things, man. Work the middle of the field. It's 1-on-1. They're going to blitz, but whatever. We lost, man. We lost. Season over with. Pack the lockers up. Go to vacation. Get ready for the draft. Hopefully we draft good. Like I said, coaching changes needs to happen. I don't know if they're going to fire Nick Sirianni. Like I said, I'm not a player in that locker room. So if the players believe in him, I have no choice but to go forth and say, hey, okay, they want him to be their coach. That's what it is. Like I said, my emotions are up and down about Nick Sirianni at the moment. But offensive coordinator Brian Johnson got to go. Defensive coordinator Matt Patricia definitely got to go. Sean Desai got to go. We need to get people in here who emphasize the fundamentals of football. Tackling, knowing which way knowing which gap to attack as a defensive lineman. All these type of things. Like it was just truly a horrible. It was truly a horrible performance. Need somebody who's defensively minded to know how to coach, execute in coverages and schemes and routes and all these type of things. It was just, it was not a great performance. Linebackers played horrible. We had some good plays out of Zach Cunningham, but other than that, horrible linebacker play, getting burnt by tight ends. We need to draft athletic linebackers. Nakobe Dean need to stay healthy. We need to get athletic young linebackers to partner up and group with him. We need to sign DeAndre Swift to a long-term contract. Again, he was underutilized and still got his first ever 1,000-yard season. So if we really use him the way he's supposed to be, he could potentially be a 2,000-yard rusher. I said receiver, excuse me. He had his first ever 1,000-yard rush season. So if we utilize him the correct way, he could most likely become a 2,000-yard rusher. You know what I mean? Those type of things. Jason Kelsey's retirement is in the air right now. It was put out after the game. He was retiring. Then he said on his podcast that, he was too emotional. He really can't decide right now if he's going to retire, but I still think he's leaning towards retirement 100%. Coaches I think should stay. Jeff Stoutland, our offensive lineman coach and run game coach, I think he should definitely stay. And other than that, man, everybody else can really go to me. I don't really care, honestly, but I know a lot of things need to change in that organization. We need much better coaches, much better coaches, and we need to get some youthful, athletic, defensive players. Okay, please do that. It's not hard. It's not hard to see what you need. We have draft stock. Make it happen, Eagles. Like I said, man, just make it happen, bro. Make it happen. But getting into the results from the Super Wild Card Weekend, excuse me for ranting, but these guys, I just got, I get emotional, thinking about this organization and how we have the pieces to be so great, but yet we just found a way to just to piss it off, So we had Wild Card Weekend kicking off on Saturday, January 13th. Recap: we had the Texans dominate the Browns 45-14. We had the Chiefs defeat the Dolphins 26-7. We had the Packers defeat the Cowboys 48-32. They were actually dominating them pretty much until the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, where the Cowboys ended up scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter. But the Packers went into halftime 27-7. Like I said, absolutely dominating the Dallas Cowboys, and then in the third quarter they just really cemented themselves and put it away. Then for Sunday night game, we had the Lions hold off the Rams by 1 point to win their first playoff game in a long time, 24-23. Then for Monday football, we had the Bills defeat the Steelers 31-17, and we had the Buccaneers dominate the Eagles 32-9. So, again, I will have divisional matchups and the schedule on Saturday's Sports Huddle, and those games will be kicking off at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. So make sure y'all tune in to get updated information as we continue to go forth for the Sports Huddle. For the rest of the NFL playoffs. And good luck to all those teams out there. I have no bitterness to no team. I was seeing what Jalen Hurts said, in his post statements and all those type of things that, it just wasn't the Eagles' year. It wasn't the Eagles' year. And me as a fan, having such high hopes for them and the things and the talent we have on that roster for what we could have accomplished, it didn't go as well. Like I said, literally the worst historic fumble of a successful team I've ever seen in my life. We started the season off 10-1 through the first 11 weeks, and then literally the next 8 weeks we just went on a super decline. I mean, literally from the top of the mountain, fall all the way to the bottom of the mountain like death. Like it had to be. This is what it was. This is what it was. The hiccup was they had the opportunity to play in the playoffs. That's how good they were in the beginning of the season, that they still was so bad at the end of the year that they still managed to get a playoff spot. And that just, to say that in itself is really horrible. For you to be at the top of the mountain and fall all the way to the bottom of the mountain and still have an opportunity to climb to the top, because when somebody falls off a mountaintop, it's usually no more life after that. But these guys still had the opportunity to have life and have, a chance to climb a mountain again, and then it didn't go as planned. So, but another bright spot before I continue to move along to the National Hockey League, Devontae Smith had a stellar game. I expected nothing less for him, being a number one receiver he is. A.J. Brown not being available, when his number was called, number 6 showed up, and I appreciate Skinny Batman for being elite, really showing why he was a Heisman Trophy winner as a wide receiver, and it shows, man. So I'm definitely excited to continue to have him on our roster. Like I said, one of those guys that I hope definitely retires as an Eagle and is just here for a very, very long time. And, yeah, man, just, continue to go ball out. I know he's going to definitely be pushing this offseason to get better and better and better. So I'm looking forward to see his progress as he continues to, step on the field at the middle towards the end of this 2024 year. So, yeah, moving on to the National Hockey League. National Hockey League All-Star Weekend, ladies and gentlemen, will kick off February 2nd through the 3rd. I told y'all I have that information as we continue to go forward. So be on the lookout for the All-Star Weekend to kick off February 2nd through the 3rd, and that will be in Toronto, Canada. The National Hockey League All-Star Weekend will be in Toronto, Canada. So moving on to National Hockey League, again, recap from Saturday games all the way through Friday. Saturday games, we had the Capitals defeat the Rangers 3-2. We had the Canucks defeat the Sabres 1-0. We had the Senators defeat the Sharks 5-4. We had the Devils defeat the Panthers 4-1. The Avalanche defeated the Maple Leafs 5-3. The Oilers defeated the Canadiens in overtime 2-1. The Red Wings defeated the Kings 5-3. The Ducks fell to the Lightning 5-1. The Penguins fell to the Hurricane in overtime 3-2. The Kraken defeated the Blue Jackets 7-4. The Flyers defeated the Jets 2-0. The Stars defeated the Blackhawks 3-1. The Bruins defeated the Blues in overtime 4-3. The Predators over the Islanders 3-1. The Coyotes shut out the Wild 6-0. And the Flames defeated the Golden Knights 3-1. For Sunday games, January 14th, we had the Rangers defeat the Capitals 2-1, and the Maple Leafs fell to the Red Wings 4-2. For Monday games, we had the Sabres defeat the Sharks 3-0. The Devils fell to the Bruins 3-0. The Ducks defeated the Panthers in overtime 5-4. The Blue Jackets defeated the Canucks in shootouts 4-3. The Penguins defeated the Kraken 3-0. The Kings over the Hurricane 5-2. The Wild shut out the Islanders 5-0. The Golden Knights defeated the Predators 4-1. The Canadiens defeated the Avalanche 4-3, and the Flyers defeated the Blues 4-2. Moving on to Tuesday games, January 16th, we had the Avalanche defeat the Senators 7-4. The Rangers over the Kraken 5-2. The Capitals defeated the Ducks 2-0. The Stars defeated the Kings 5-1. The Islanders fell to the Jets 4-2. The Sharks fell to the Blackhawks in shootouts 2-1. The Flames defeated the Coyotes in overtime 3-2, and the Oilers defeated the Maple Leafs 4-2. Recap of last night's games from January 17th. We had the Red Wings defeat the Panthers 3-2 in overtime, and the Canadiens defeated the Devils 3-2. Also, we had a game postponed until Friday, January 18th. We had the Sabres and the Blackhawks games postponed. To today. I said Friday. So today is the 18th, excuse me. So for today's game, we have the Avalanche versus Brewers, Senators hosting the Canadiens, Wild going up against the Lightning, Flyers hosting the Stars, Blues versus Capitals, Sabres versus Blackhawks, Maple Leafs going up against the Flames, the Oilers versus the Kraken, Predators going up against the Kings, Canucks hosting the Coyotes, and the Golden Knights hosting the Rangers. For Friday games, January 19th, we have the Panthers hosting the Wild, the Hurricanes hosting the Red Wings, the Devils going up against the Blue Jackets, and the Blackhawks hosting the Islanders. So make sure y'all tune into the Saturday Sports Huddle to get updated information from the National Hockey League. Moving on to NCAA men's and women's top 25. Kicking off with the NCAA women's from last Saturday. From Saturday, January 13th, we had some upsets. Out of the top 25, we had number 24 West Virginia defeat UCF 76-59. We had an upset out of Iowa State. We had unranked Iowa State defeat number 4 Baylor 66-63. We had number 12 Kansas State upset number 10 Texas 61-58. We had number 13 UConn defeat St. John's 92-49. We had number 25 UNLV defeat Air Force 76-64. Number 16 Gonzaga defeated San Diego 85-67. Number 3 Iowa defeated number 14 Indiana 84-57. And we had number 23 Marquette defeat DePaul 78-47. Moving on to Sunday games, we had a few top 25 ranked matchups, had a couple upsets also. We had number 18 Notre Dame defeat Miami 70-59. We had number 11 Virginia Tech fall to number 21 Florida State 89-81. We had number 5 Colorado defeat number 8 Stanford 71-59. Number 15 Louisville defeated Wake Forest 83-62. Number 19 Utah handled business against California 93-56. Number 22 Creighton defeated Providence 81-70. We had an upset out of Auburn. We had unranked Auburn defeat number 7 LSU 67-62. We had number 17 Ohio State defeat Michigan State 70-65. Number 20 North Carolina defeated Virginia 81-68. And we had another upset out of USC. We had number 9 USC defeat number 2 UCLA 73-65. For Monday's games, we had number 1 South Carolina dominate Kentucky 98-36. For Tuesday games, we had number 11 Texas defeat Kansas 91-56, and number 2 Iowa dominated Wisconsin 96-50. Recap of Wednesday last night games, we had a few upsets also. We had number 25 UNLV defeat San Diego State 67-60. Number 18 Ohio State defeated Maryland 84-76. We had an upset out of Villanova. We had unranked Villanova defeat number 22 Marquette 66-63. We had another upset out of Texas Tech. We had unranked Texas Tech defeat number 24 Iowa State 71-63. We had number 16 Indiana defeat Minnesota 85-62, and we had number 9 UConn defeat Seton Hall 83-59. We also had a forfeit game. We had TCU forfeit to number 7 Kansas State. So Kansas State won by forfeit. Moving on to today's games, we have number 4 NC State going up against Miami. Number 23 North Carolina going up against Georgia Tech. Number 13 Louisville going up against Clemson. Number 15 Florida State going up against Syracuse. Number 19 Notre Dame going up against Virginia. Number 14 Virginia Tech going up against Duke. Number 10 LSU going up against Alabama, and number 17 Gonzaga going up against LMU. For Friday games, we have a few top 25 ranked matchup. We have a top 10 ranked matchup, and we have a top 25 ranked matchup. Kicking it off on Friday night at 8 p.m. tomorrow on the Pac-12 Network. We have number 3 Colorado hosting number 5 UCLA. Then at 9 o'clock tomorrow, we have number 6 USC going up against number 20 Utah, and we have number 8 Stanford hosting Oregon. So make sure y'all tune into the Saturday Sports Huddle to get updated information from those games. Moving on to Saturday games, we had a thriller in Georgia against Tennessee. We definitely could have won this game, man. We were up big, like 10 points in the the last 5 minutes of the second half. And Tennessee went on a 14-3 run, and they ended up winning 85-79. So we had number 5 Tennessee defeat Georgia 85-79. A lot of bright spots on this young Georgia basketball team. We're definitely going to be a program that's going to be on the up and up for a long time in basketball. Also, with football. But Georgia sports programs are definitely, coming around to be dominant on all levels, from football, basketball, baseball, all the other sports that we have, golfers, track and field, swimming, all these type of athletics that we have in Georgia. We definitely produce high-level talents, and Georgia basketball team is definitely going to be here and definitely going to be a team to be recognized and not messed with for a long time. Then moving on, we had number 7 North Carolina dominate Syracuse 103-67. Number 15 Wisconsin defeated Northwestern 71-63. Number 22 Creighton defeated St. John's 66-65. Top 10 ranked matchup. We had number 3 Kansas defeat number 9 Oklahoma 78-66. We had an upset out of Kentucky. We had unranked Texas A&M defeat number 6 Kentucky in overtime 97-92. We had another upset out of New Mexico. We had unranked New Mexico defeat number 19 San Diego State 88-70. We had number 1 Purdue defeat Penn State 95-78. Number 20 Utah State defeated UNLV 87-86. We had number 21 Clemson defeat Boston College 89-78. Number 18 BYU defeated UCF 63-58. Number 11 Duke defeated Georgia Tech 84-79. We had a couple of upsets in the late night games on Saturday. We had unranked TCU defeat number 2 Houston 68-67. Unranked Washington State defeated number 8 Arizona 73-70. And we had number 16 Auburn defeat LSU 93-78. Another upset out of West Virginia. We had unranked West Virginia defeat number 25 Texas 76-73. And we had number 14 Baylor defeat Cincinnati 62-59. For Sunday games, we had number 4 UConn defeat Georgetown 80-67. Number 24 FAU defeated UAB 86-73. Number 13 Memphis defeated Wichita State 112-86. And we had a upset out of Maryland. We had unranked Maryland defeat number 10 Illinois 76-67. For Monday games, we had number 17 Marquette defeat Villanova 87-74. Tuesday games, we had a few ranked matchups, one top 25 ranked matchup, some upsets. We had number 6 Tennessee defeat Florida 85-66. Number 2 Purdue defeated Indiana 87-66. We had an upset out of Cincinnati. Unranked Cincinnati defeated number 19 TCU 81-77 in overtime. We had another upset out of Kansas State. We had unranked Kansas State defeat number 9 Baylor 68-64 in overtime. We had number 21 Dayton defeat St. Louis 70-65. Number 3 Kansas defeated Oklahoma State 90-66. Another upset out of Penn State. We had unranked Penn State defeat number 11 Wisconsin 87-83. We had another upset out of BYU. We had number 20 BYU defeated number 24 Iowa State 87-72. And we had another upset out of New Mexico State. We had unranked New Mexico defeat number 16 Utah State 99-86. A recap of last night games. We had a few top 25 ranked matchups. We had number 1 UConn defeat number 18 Creighton 62-48. We had number 8 Kentucky defeat Mississippi State 90-77. We had an upset out of LSU. We had unranked LSU defeat number 22 Ole Miss 89-80. We had number 15 Oklahoma defeat West Virginia 77-63. Number 4 North Carolina handled business against Louisville 86-70. We had a top 25 ranked matchup. Number 5 Houston hosting number 25 Texas Tech. Houston defeated Texas Tech 77-54. We had number 13 Auburn defeat Vanderbilt 80-65. And we had number 12 Arizona defeat USC 82-67. For today's games, we have number 10 Memphis hosting South Florida tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Number 23 FAU hosting Wichita State tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. And we have number 14 Illinois going up against Michigan at 8:30 p.m. on FS1. For Friday games tomorrow, we have number 11 Wisconsin hosting Indiana at 8:30 p.m. on FS1. Moving on to round out our sports huddle. Moving on to NBA regular season. Before I get into the slate and the results from this past weekend through this week, we did have a trade out of Toronto. We had the Toronto Raptors trade to the Indiana Pacers, Pascal Siakam. Let me get the trade details here for you. Okay, here we go. So the Pacers acquired Pascal Siakam in the trade with the Raptors and the Pelicans. The Indiana Pacers have acquired All-Star forward Pascal Siakam in a trade that sends Bruce Brown, Jordan Norwalk, and 3 first-round picks to the Toronto Raptors. If you're asking me, man, Toronto definitely got so much more than what Pascal Siakam is worth. I think he's a stellar basketball player. He's not an all-pro, if I'm not mistaken. But to get 3 first-round picks, that's big in itself, man. I was just telling somebody the other day, if, I've been hearing a lot of people, they want Trae Young. If I'm the Hawks and I see how Pascal Siakam has gotten 3 first-round picks along with 2 other basketball players, I feel like Trae Young is worth 6 first-round picks by itself. I don't want no players. I want Trae Young. If he's not going to be an Atlanta Hawk anymore, which I hope he is, we need to get a center. I think that's our missing point. We really need to get a consistent scoring center. If we get an athletic center, if we get one of those guys, I think we'll be good with the Hawks. But if luck plays his part and it happens to Trae Young doesn't be a part of the Hawks organization anymore, he gets traded off. I feel like these type of scenarios and what the Pacers have got for what the Raptors have gotten for Pascal Siakam, 3 first-round picks is huge, man. We need 6 for Trae Young, plain and simple. But moving on, as part of a separate trade, the New Orleans Pelicans sent Keiar Lewis Jr. and a 2024 second-round pick to the Pacers, and then the Pacers ship Lewis to the Raptors. So 2 of the first-round picks are going to the Raptors for 2024, Indiana's own selection and the lesser of a Utah, Houston, Clippers, or Oklahoma City pick, while the third is for 2026 from Indiana. So, again, still you get 2 picks this year draft coming up, and then you get another first-round pick in 2026. So, hey, man, like I said, the Raptors definitely, they got the upside of this trade. The Pacers, getting Pascal Siakam is cool, but you're not going to be a contender in the East still. You still have the Bucks, you still have the Celtics, and you still have the 76ers who are playing dominant basketball right now. So I'm not saying the Pacers are a bad team, but they're not on the level of those 3 teams that I just said. So I wanted to get that news out there before I went into the rest of the NBA slate for this week and from last week. Kicking off on Saturday games, we had the Wizards dominate the Hawks, 127-99. We had the Celtics dominate the Rockets, 145-113. The Knicks defeated the Grizzlies, 106-94. The Bucks defeated the Warriors, 129-118. The Thunder defeated the Magic, 112-100. The Pelicans defeated the Mavericks, 118-108. The Bulls defeated the Spurs, 122-116. And the Jazz defeated the Lakers, 132-125. For Sunday games, we had the Nuggets defeat the Pacers, 117-109. The Heat defeated the Hornets, 104-87. The Bucks defeated the Kings in overtime, 143-142. The Timberwolves defeated the Clippers, 109-105. And the Suns defeated the Trailblazers, 127-116. Moving on to Monday games, we had the Hawks defeat the Spurs, 109-99. The 76ers defeated the Rockets, 124-115. The Mavericks defeated the Pelicans, 125-120. The Knicks fell to the Magic, 98-94. The Pistons defeated the Wizards, 129-117. The Warriors fell to the Grizzlies, 107-116. Draymond Green also made his NBA debut his NBA return against the Grizzlies, but that wasn't enough to defeat them. So they lost to the Grizzlies, 116-107. The Cavaliers defeated the Bulls, 109-91. The Heat defeated the Nets, 96-95 in overtime. The Celtics defeated the Raptors, 105-96. The Jazz defeated the Pacers, 132-105. And the Lakers defeated the Thunder, 112-105. For Tuesday game, January 16th, we had the Nuggets fall to the 76ers, 126-121. The Suns defeated the Kings, 119-117. And the Clippers defeated the Thunder, 128-117. Recap of last night games from January 17th. We had the Hawks defeat the Magic on a DeJounte buzzer beater, 106-104. The Timberwolves defeated the Pistons, 124-117. The Celtics defeated the Spurs, 117-98. The Cavaliers dominated the Bucks, 135-95. The Knicks defeated the Rockets, 109-94. The Heat fell to the Raptors, 121-97. The Pelicans defeated the Hornets 132-112. The Lakers defeated the Mavericks 127-110. The Trailblazers defeated the Nets 105-103. And the Warriors and Jazz games were postponed. They had a death in the coaching staff of the Warriors. Moving on to today's game, we have the Knicks hosting the Wizards. The Raptors going up against the Bulls on TNT at 7:30 p.m. The Jazz hosting the Thunder. The Timberwolves hosting the Grizzlies at 10 p.m. on TNT. And the Kings going up against the Pacers. For Friday games, we have the Heat hosting the Hawks. The Spurs going up against the Hornets. The Magic versus the 76ers. The Celtics hosting the Nuggets on ESPN tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. We have the Suns going up against the Pelicans. The Mavericks going up against the Warriors. The Trailblazers versus the Pacers. And the Nets going up against the Lakers. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have today for the Sports Huddle. As always, give Jehovah glory for life today. Thank you, Father God, for life. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Have a great today. Do your best to make today the best day, because today, ladies and gentlemen, have great attitudes, have great responses, have patience, have a sense of urgency in what you want to be able to accomplish in your life. Be open to respecting people's feelings and understanding individuals and all that good stuff. And I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. And until next time, peace.